welcome to Paul Ricard in the south of France for the test days for the Blancpain GT Series. Blancpain is the premier GT category of racing in the world, and it's split into two components. You've got the Endurance Series, which sees endurance racing from races from 3 hours all the way to a full 24 hours of Spa, and you've got the Sprint Series, which is shorter, 1 hour racing, which provides action-packed entertainment throughout. You can see the cars are now starting to make their way out onto the circuit. We've got Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Aston Martins, Mercedes, all competing here. So let's have a closer look at some of the teams that will be entering in 2014.
Former F1 driver and Paralympic gold medalist Alex Zanardi will be racing in the Blancpain Sprint Series in a Royal BMW Z4 as he makes a return to motorsport.
To a certain degree, I don't think I ever stop in a way, because I'm a motorsports fan, and the fact that in the last 4 years I've been quite busy cranking my cycle does not mean that I stopped following motorsports, and my heart was still into it a little bit. Just more recently, the opportunity arose when Roberto Ravaglia, the chief of Royal Motorsports, offered me to drive his Z4 for a test, and he mentioned the fact that we could compete into this Blancpain Championship, which is a very competitive field, and certainly a very difficult challenge for everyone, not just for a guy like me with no legs, you know. We got the program together, so here I am.
And how is it comparing to the touring cars you've driven before? Is it more fun than those?
Yeah, it is. Not to say that that was not a good car to drive, but of course this one is a completely different planet. You know, this car has really some power under the trunk. The look of the car itself is really sexy, and it does perform like a real race car. Whether the 320 I was driving in the WTCC was something more than a road car with 4 slick tires and the look a little bit of a race car. But yeah, it was fantastic for me to come back to motorsports in such a competitive field like the WTCC used to be, and straight everything up to the point where I was again in the position to win some races. That was fantastic. But once that was behind my shoulder, I then realized that the car had very little power under the trunk, that the car didn't have any bite, didn't have any aerodynamic, and so it was time to move on to different things. And that's when I discovered this new sportive passion of mine, which was in cycling, and timing was perfect for me to move on to something different. But the fact that, as I said, I've been only cranking with my end cycle in the past 4 years really meant that my passion came back stronger than ever about the possibility to be again in the cockpit of a real race car. And this is not a Formula 1 car, but it performs in a way that it's quite close.
One of the strongest teams in the championship will undoubtedly be WRT. They're defending sprint champions with Stefan Ortelli and Laurens Vanthoor, so let's head into the garage, see if we can find them. So Stefan, a very successful couple of seasons with Laurens as your teammate, but it's moving on now. You've got another new guy to teach all you know.
First of all, we are a really good friend with Laurens, and of course it's a bit sad, but we're going to stay in the same team, so that's the good news. And Roman has a lot of potential as well. You know, he's also switching from sports car to GT cars. I think he has a lot to adapt, and he's very quick on adapting from one car to the other, so I think he's a good help. And he's also a strong contender in the past years. I mean, I've been racing with him, against him, for 10 years, I think. So I know him as a competitor, and I'm very happy to be his teammate this year, and I think we're going to be, again, ready to fight for some wins and the championship.
The fight inside WRT is always very hard, but who are you looking to outside of WRT as your main rivals this season?
I'm a big fan of Giorgio Pantano, which rates as one of the most potential Formula 1 waste of potential, because he was so fast in Formula cars, and I'm a big fan. I'm a good friend as well. But of course, the McLaren will be strong. So Giorgio will be strong in this McLaren, but the art car will be also very strong, and BMW will be again very, very fast. Phoenix, Audi will be fast. All these cars, it's a very good level. Probably a stronger championship again than last year. So I can't wait to go and start this championship.
It was a bit of a pity to hear that we were not driving anymore together, me and Stefan, because we were really good friends, and he helped me a lot, and I tried to help him, and yeah, it's a bit different now. We were race against each other, but just made a joke with him to say if the occasion comes that I'm behind him, I'm quicker before passing, I will give him a small nudge to say hello, and then but we're still very good friends, and we're still helping each other, so that didn't change anything.
Another new entrant for Blancpain Sprint is the Portuguese Bitec squad, including former Jordan F1 racer Giorgio Pantano.
We believe it's a strong series, very important series, and we wanna compete against the big team. It's a big challenger for us this year, and I believe we can be strong to competitive for the title.
I've spoken to a few drivers, and you say who's a strong driver that they're looking out for, and they'll go Giorgio, Giorgio, Giorgio. So who are you looking out for in this field who you think are going to be strong?
Well, for me here on this series, there are a lot. There are a lot. If I have to say a name, I say Alvaro Parente, I say Andy Soucek, and I don't know if it's Black Molen's coming, or Alessandro Zanardi, also is a very good driver. But I'm sure it will be a very good year.
Nicky Melnoff switches to Phoenix Racing this season after a very impressive 2013 with WRT.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, especially in the last race, I was succeeding more and more, and I could learn from René a lot. And yeah, I was surprised in Baku by the pace that we could put down. And when my engineer said, okay, so take it easy and bring it home, I said, okay, I would like to push again, but it was fantastic, especially Baku, the race, from the pace that I had, that we had in Audi was fantastic. I was surprised also a little bit.
And it looks like you want to stay with Audi this year if you end up in GTs. Is it a car that you think suits your driving style?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I mean, it's from the GT cars I drove, it's not a very easy car to drive, but from the years now, I just would like to stay with one brand for a few consecutive years now and not jump around in the paddock. So I try to stay with Audi. I think it's a good package and it's a professional team. So yeah, for sure, I would like to stay with Audi and try to attack and try to stay at the same pace and try to better the result from last year, which is going to be a difficult task, but you always have to aim high to end low.
Mayor Melnoff's teammate in the car will be 2012 FIA GT1 World Champion Markus Winkelhock.
It's a very good car, very competitive car. I think the car proved that it's fast. I've got a really good team with Phoenix Racing, very experienced team, and for sure you need quite a lot of luck to win a championship, but at the end of the day I think the package is good, and for sure there's a chance to win the championship.
Returning for another Sprint Series attack is the BMW Team Brazil squad, with some superstar drivers including Bruno Senna, Nelson Piquet Jr. and Caca Bueno.
We hope for fight more in front in this year, fight for the podiums, fight for the poles and the wins. I know have a very strong teams, but we're happy with the new formation.
After racing in NASCAR since leaving Formula One, Nelson Piquet Jr. is looking forward to racing back in Europe.
I have a lot of friends over here. I mean, probably my best friend over here is Alvaro. You know, we've been racing together since F3 days in England. So we've been always very close friends. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of names over there that have raced in GB2 or F3 or all around the place. So for sure the series is every year stepping up, having more interest of bigger teams, better teams, and obviously teams that can hire better drivers. So I'm sure it's going to be even tougher than last year to win a championship over here.
There's a real back-to-school feeling at Paul Ricard with the race directors as well as the teams. So let's take a look at two of the new kids for 2014. The Bentley Continental is brand new for this year, and with the strong M Sport team running it, it should be an impressive debut season in Blancpain Endurance.
It's about 18 months since we started the concept phase and a bit of an investigation of what we could do with the car. It first ran at Goodwood last year, Festival of Speed. We've done a fair amount of testing since then, so we're reasonably confident in reliability.
Whilst M Sport has until now been a rally team, Guy Smith, who won Le Mans in a Bentley in 2003, believes they can succeed on the track.
Well, that's right. I mean, M Sport, I have to say, has been a fantastic partnership. Been very, very impressed with their approach to racing, taking it very, very seriously. But of course, you know, we are on the back foot because we're all learning and they're learning about racing. But so far, they've done a great job. They're very determined. They've been successful in rallying. I'm sure they're going to be successful in racing too.
Another imposing new car is the Chevrolet Camaro. Developed by Reiter Engineering, it'll also see the return of two familiar faces this season.
Albert, fantastic to have you here in the Blancpain Series in your new Thunder Taxi. How is it driving the Camaro?
Very good, very good. I think we're very happy with the result. I mean, we were really not hiding ourselves. It was maximum attack. And I think we proved that the car has real great performance, and we're very happy. I think we're looking forward to a good season.
Thomas, it's great to have you back as well. You must be looking forward to getting racing again.
Yeah, cheers. Definitely. I mean, with this car, with Camaro, also with Lamborghini, we have a great package. We are planning to do first race in Monza, Blancpain Endurance Race, and we're going to go with to do it with Albert and with Peter Cox in a pro class. And obviously, yeah, I can't wait after this successful test in Paul Ricard. It's going to be a dream.
What's it like being reunited with Albert again?
I think we can't wait to get back together behind the steering wheel of one car. And yeah, we had great time at that time in GT1 World Championship. We've done really good results, and now we just need to get back the momentum and keep doing great with Camaro and also with Lambo.
But Albert, there's a lot of strong rivals out here as well, aren't there?
Absolutely. That's a nice thing about the championship. There's really a very high level and a great competition. So I think you can't just come here and try to play a little bit. You really have to come prepared. And I think we've done the work that's necessary to be moving out front.
CEO of Blancpain, Mark Hayek, will make his sprint debut this year alongside regular co-driver Peter Cox, and is looking forward to the new challenge.
It's really a good format. That the endurance became very, very big. What is great, it's a great success. But I think it's good to have a second series with a different format, and I think that's both part of GT racing. So personally, yeah, enjoy endurance, but I normally like almost better sprint. So it's both nice to drive. Unfortunately, you can't do everything.
And you'll be with Peter Cox this year in the Sprint Series. That, considering his performances, well, throughout his whole career, but also last year winning races, you must be looking forward to fighting at the front.
I hope so. Let's see. We had a very hard season last year, but I think we found a lot. That's why we're trying out a lot of things now, and package seems really good. So I hope we're competitive. Let's see. But I think it will be very tough because it's a lot of very hard competition. But sure, if you compete, you want to be in the front. So we will try.
The Oman racing team will compete in the Endurance Series in an Aston Martin. Michael Caine, Stephen Jelly and Ahmed Al-Hati will be the drivers.
To be honest, it was time for us to make the right change, and we feel moving to Aston Martin is the best thing for us at the moment. Obviously having the same car in British GT along with Blancpain is definitely going to be consistent, and consistency is what we need in this team at the moment.
Last year's Spa 24 winners HTP weren't at the test, waiting on delivery of their new Mercedes SLS for 2014. But Endurance Series runner-up Maxi Goetz was around to shed some light on the team's plans.
Steff Dusseldorp is confirmed, Max Bub is confirmed already. But I think HTP got very good drivers for the whole season, a good package. But we don't know exactly who is driving with who. So I think in the next 1 week, 2 weeks, we consider out who's driving with them. And then I think in 2 weeks we have information. Latest in Monza, on the first endurance race.
But you'll be hoping, no doubt, you can help Maxi Book defend his endurance title, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I'm vice champion, so I have 1 place to gain. And he wants to hold the first place. For sure, it was a very good year for us last year, and we try our best to hold these positions.
Andreas Simonsen was the Pro-Am Sprint champion last year with HTP, and he'll also be competing in the Endurance Series with Black Falcon.
The car is really nice to drive, and it's quite equal on all the tracks around. So for me, I found it really good, and the team done a great job with the car, and Javier that developed the car, yeah, they made a great job, as we saw last year.
Black Falcon maybe struggled a little in the Endurance Series last season. What do you think they can do to sort of get back on track?
Yeah, for sure now we have a new engineer that will be for us the whole year, and I think that's a big step forward for them to have a really good engineer and manage the car and to get the little extra out of the car. So I think that's a big step, and the team is working really hard to find a good solution with drivers and everything. So I think this year will be really strong.
Is there anything you can bring from your time with HTP last year?
Yeah, for sure. Something I can, for sure, for the driving and to get to the other drivers to learn a bit small things. But no, I think something I can bring, hopefully.
ART will return to the Endurance Series with their brace of McLarens, led once again by Spaniard Andy Soucek.
Yeah, we had a difficult year, 2 zeros in Silverstone and Spa, but the other races went quite well. We finished on the podium Monza and also Nürburgring with a 2nd place, so we ended up the season in a high, and we hope to continue in these positions for this year.
And Kevin, tell us your story, because you're racing Porsches, and then you did Baku for Hexis, and you impressed everyone, and it was incredible, and now here you are.
Yeah, I did some good races in my career, but definitely Baku was the one who put my racing career on another level. And with the McLaren and Hexis, they did a good job. The car was fantastic, and I did also a good job. So that put me in the McLaren seat as a McLaren factory driver. So I'm really pleased with that. And now to work with ART on this test is a really good thing, because the team is fantastic, and I hope we'll work good and find a good car.
RJ and Nissan will run again in the Endurance Series with their latest drivers from the GT Academy program, turning gamers into racing drivers.
Yeah, it's just awesome, you know, coming here into a big family with all the winners from, especially Lucas and also Jan and now Wolfie, getting in this footstep, and maybe, you know, can have the same future and history as them would be just awesome.
So that concludes the pre-season test ahead of the Blancpain GT Series. Today we had the Chevrolet Camaro finish quickest, the Reiter Engineering with Thomas Enger and Albert von Taxis at the wheel, and yesterday it was the Bentley that was quickest, so 2 new cars going fastest on the 2 days of the test. But we're going to have a lot of the old guard still out fighting when it comes to the first round of the season, which is at Monza in the Blancpain Endurance Series on the 13th of April. And then a week later, we're in Nogaro in France for the first round of the sprint season at the traditional Coupe de Pack. So make sure you join us for all the action.